What's going on, everybody? It's Nice Pants Lance, and my most recent trip to Pennsylvania has gotten me thinking about what I want to change on this Speed Twin. First gear's a little too twitchy for me, and cruising at like 80 miles an hour for an extended period of time, the RPMs are just a little too high for me. It's not that it's buzzy, it's just I don't want to subject my motor to that, and I don't necessarily want to go slow either. So what I'd like to do is change the front sprocket to a 17 tooth front sprocket. I believe the stock sprocket on the Speed Twin is a 16 tooth. So hopefully in changing this, it'll lengthen first gear out, make it a little more usable, and it'll increase the top speed of this bike, which in turn will give me a better opportunity for better gas mileage, and hopefully it'll make it a little more casual of a rider. Right now it's a little wild in first and second gear. What you're gonna need for this job is a 8mm, a 10mm socket. You're also gonna need a 36mm socket to get the actual sprocket nut off. This job will also include loosening up the rear axle, so you're gonna need a number 27 socket and a 12 and 13mm wrench. Oh, an extension is necessary too. First, you're gonna need an 8mm to take out these 4 screws off of this sprocket cover. 2 right here, 2 right there. After that, it'll reveal the coolant reservoir. There's 2 10mm bolts that you're gonna need to loosen up. Once you have those 2 10mm nuts off, that will allow you to get this coolant tank off of the backing plate, and it'll reveal 2 more 8mm bolts that you're gonna need to loosen up. Alright, once that's out of the way, it should allow you room to get your 36mm socket in there. I highly recommend using a breaker bar to get it off. But once you have that, now you're going to want to loosen up the axle nut using a number 27, and you're going to need a 13 and a 12. You're gonna need a 13 and a 12 to actually loosen the chain up enough to slide this front sprocket off of the shaft. All right, The new sprocket is on. 16th tooth sprocket is off. Don't forget to check your Triumph manual for a torque spec for that front sprocket nut. I believe it's like somewhere in the realm of 110 Newton meters. I have a digital torque wrench that I use. I highly suggest purchasing one for yourself. If you intend on doing all the dealer work on your own motorcycle, you definitely want to torque things to spec. It's imperative. So after that, you just basically reassemble everything you had taken apart. Also, don't forget that you loosen the axle nut up to slacken the chain. So you're gonna want to tighten that up and make sure that the wheel is aligned, the chain is running true, and that it is at the correct slack tension. So after all that, just slap everything together and you should be good to go. Well, she's all put back together. I made sure to double check all the nuts and bolts that I took off and put back on. Everything is torqued to spec. Made sure that the chain slack measures about 20 to 30 millimeters as per Triumph manual. And now she's ready to take for a ride, already cleaned up. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe. See ya.